Hi, I'm Jane from Poppy Patchwork, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make Split Ohio Star quilt block. We're launching a tailored paid subscription designed to make your quilting experience even better. Sign up now by clicking the link below. So we're going to begin by making the half square triangles, and for this you're going to need fabrics A and B. And on the wrong side of the background fabrics, or the lighter fabrics, you need to draw a line across the diagonal. And then pin it right sides together with fabric B. I'm going to take these over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on both sides of that line. I'm now going to remove the pins and then cut along the drawn line. Now I'm going to trim to size, and the method that I use requires me to do this before I have pressed the seams open. So use your method to trim to size. If you do not have a speciality ruler like this, then if you right mouse click on the link above, it will take you to my video on how to trim half square triangles with a standard ruler. Now that I've trimmed them, I'm going to press the seams. So I'm going to set the seam, and then I'm going to press to the dark fabric. I'm going to clip the dog ears off and set those to one side. So to make the 1/4 square triangles, you'll need fabrics C and D, and you start by making half square triangles. So once again I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of the background fabrics. So I'm going to match these right sides together. And I'm going to take these over to the sewing machine, and like I did before, I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch away from the drawn line on both sides of the drawn line. So I'm going to remove the pins, and then I'm going to cut through the drawn line. and now I'm going to press. So I'm going to set the seam and press towards the dark fabric. So on two of these, I'm going to turn them over to the wrong side, and I'm going to draw a line that crosses over the stitched line here. And then I'm going to match these up with the other ones, and so I'm going to lay them on top of each other, and I'm going to press along the seam so that these seams butt up against each other, and so you've got the background fabric laid on top of the coloured fabric, and then the coloured fabric laid on top of the background fabric, and then this seam is really nicely snugly lined up against each other. Now I'm going to pin, and then when I go back to the sewing machine, I'm going to sew again 1/4 inch on both sides of that drawn line. I'm now going to remove the pins, and then again I'm going to cut through the drawn line. And now I'm going to trim these to the required size. Once again, you need to use your preferred method of trimming. I'm going to use my specialty ruler. If you do not have a specialty ruler, then right mouse click on the link above and it will take you to my video on how to trim 1/4 square triangles. So now I'm going to set the seam and press them. So I'm just going to press these to one side. So I'm going to cut the dog ears off and then we're ready for block layout. So I've laid these out in block layout, and as you can see we do have one spare half square triangle, so I'm just going to put that to one side. So now we're going to join the block together like a 9 patch. So I'm going to start by joining these two together up here and then work across in columns to join it together. So I'm going to match these two seams here, and then we're going to be sewing along this edge. And here we need to match these two, so I'm just going to just see. Yeah, so what I did was I just flipped that way, that quarter square triangle around, so now that these two seams can butt together. So I'm going to take that over to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm not going to press the seams yet. I'm now going to sew these 3 pieces on the bottom of three columns. So on this occasion the seams aren't butting up, so I'm just going to flip this one, and so that they do butt together. I'll just pop a pin in there, and then when I come to press it, I can press the seams in the direction that I want them pressed. So I'm going to go back to the sewing machine and sew those seams. Okay, so I've got the 3 columns sewn together, and now I need to press the seams. So I'm going to press these seams, this seam here towards the half square triangle, and this seam towards this square, and the same on this side. And on this middle one, the seams will press into the half square triangle so that they'll all nest together. So I'm going to set the seam and then press. And so now I'm going to pin this column to this column, and then I will pin this column to this column and give it all a good press. So here we've got points that we want to match, and the seams are pressed in opposite directions, so that should help with nesting the seams. If you right mouse click on the link above, it will take you to my video on how to get perfect points. So I'm going to take that over to the sewing machine and sew those seams together. So I've given that a good press with the seams open. So congratulations, you have made the split Ohio star block. I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and thank you very much for all your support by downloading my patterns and buying my books. Bye for now, and happy quilting!